What's going on? Welcome to the Boundless PodTrap podcast. I am your host, one of the hosts, Justin Milani, and I got, you?
Jeremy Ubash.
Nice. Welcome back. You guys might be noticing a little bit of a change this time around. That's probably the no video, and we're trying a few other things. Oh, wait. Who the hell are you?
Did you guys know there's turkey sandwiches in here? Wait, who are you?
There's what? Turkey sandwiches?
Turkey sandwiches on the counter.
Wait,
who are you?
That's a different...
Say any turkey sandwiches?
Well, not anymore.
Elephant of a different color. I don't know. That's a Wizard of Oz reference. My fault.
I'm Lonnie Elder. Hi, everybody.
What up, Lonnie?
Hi.
I feel like I know you from somewhere.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like we do this weekly together.
We do.
So we're trying something a little bit different. Mainly for me, I've been doing a lot of the background as far as the production value, putting the podcast together. And so we filmed something back in January, and it's still taken a while. Maybe it might be out by the time this is out. We'll see. I'm told to just squash it. But
so in other words, you're fired from your background job.
Just cutting half the work out by getting rid of our precious faces. This is.
I can save everybody. I can save you the effort of finishing it. It's outdated stuff, and it's 45 minutes of Justin, Michael, and I talking about penis.
And I guarantee you, everyone's much prettier on podcast than on video.
Oh yeah, I just always felt like, no, I don't think somebody would want to sit there for an hour, 2 hours, and watch people sit at a table talking, unless they're extremely hot and naked and doing something. Then, and we could possibly do that.
We can do the Howard Stern type of thing. Well, I mean, like
So
Joe Rogan,
like
he doesn't even show his videos. Well, usually.
How is Howard Stern now? Like, I remember when he had his show back in like the late 90s and stuff like that, and he was just like the biggest pervert in the world. Like, he'd have the microphone like right here, and he's like, I would do you. And then he had like some random African-American lady that didn't fit, like this middle-aged African-American lady that would just like every so often talk.
What was her name?
I know you told us all to put our phones away. We could have looked this up, but
I brought my laptop, but I didn't think I'd need it. But
well, you guys have to start remembering. Like, normally we
could have our
random Howard Stern facts. I'm sorry,
we'll have Michael here. He's our what would that title be to look stuff up?
Producer?
No, archivist, not archivist.
Our assistant.
Pedophile.
Oh,
That's it.
That works too.
Guy with all the porn knowledge.
Normally I have like a pornographic memory. I can remember everything, but
pornographic memory, man.
It's where it's like the things you see, you remember.
Is her name Wanda?
That actually sounds, is it?
Robin Quivers.
Now I say that. Unfortunately, I kind of think I knew that.
There's a few podcasts I listen to. One in particular, she kind of makes reference to him. Like, yeah, I was on the Howard Stern show, and
I remember Beet Juice.
So he's still going.
Isn't he the one that was always like, huh? He was like, after everything he said, he'd be like, huh? And he like had his like gums sticking out like of his mouth. Michael's laughing.
Oh, Forrest Gump, like Bubba Gump,
shrimp soup, shrimp salad, huh?
Well, anyways, so Lonnie, you're our new addition here.
I am. I'm the third child.
We're going to make. Yeah, we've adopted him. He's our studio hostess.
I'm the baby, so that means I'm Dad's favorite.
I do know that after the photo shoot that we did, our promotional photo shoot for this podcast, we're all very close to each other. That's for sure.
So me and Lonnie don't really have like that big of a history. We've ran in, well, pretty much this circle. You, little Mike, Paco. You.
God, that Paco.
Well, that's kind of what this episode is. This is episode 0, where we're going to try to get to know each other. And
romantically.
Yes. We're going to tell about ourselves and what we bring to the table, what we've done, what we're planning on bringing to this podcast. We're going to talk about the podcast, like what our plans are with it.
I feel like we're making a habit of making podcasts talking about what we're going to do with our podcast.
Well, this time it's different. It's going to happen. We're going to try to do this every 2 weeks.
So we had a guy help us fund some equipment here. So we got some high-tech stuff.
We do.
I'm liking this.
It's and I like the colored cables here.
Did you guys have to get naked?
Oh, I'm always naked when I'm over here.
He said it. He said I didn't have to smile, but it was hard not to.
He prefers when you cry.
Now we're testing this out at Michael's place where we've done all the past podcasts, but we will be moving into the studio, Lonnie's studio that he has at his home.
Michael's landlord actually got caught up on some smuggling charges, so his place of residence might be in peril. So we'll have to move things around.
He's smuggling.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
What is he smuggling?
Kids in containers type of thing.
We're totally throwing you under the bus right now.
Jeez.
There's people going to catch wind of this podcast and start doing some, why do you sound guilty? He said he wasn't doing it.
He doesn't have a microphone.
Mike's not mic'd up. Mike is all the mic he needs, I guess.
He's going to look up anything that we have questions on. We won't bring him into the conversation because we can't hear him. So
you'll probably hear off mic like fucking internet. Like, you know.
So yeah, let's start off here. Let's get to know each other here.
Okay.
And I mean, like, the listeners get to know us.
Nice little round table of intimate facts.
Yes. Let's
What kind of questions would the listeners ask?
I have one. Jeremy, is it true that they used to call you 12-inch Jeremy in high school?
Yes. Next question.
Nice. Nice.
No. I wasn't at 12 inches back in high school. I was still growing. I was about at
You were like,
2 inches.
was that like
back
a
then?
Subway reference? Like
Yes.
Yes.
No, I was talking about his penis.
Jared? Oh,
Jared.
Jared, the Subway guy.
Whatever happened? That's got to be a topic.
I could tell you what happened.
I can tell you it's continuing down with the chair.
Man, that guy.
He takes pictures like Mike. Maybe. Well,
Quit.
That man officially knows what 12 inches is now.
Your go-to thing is making fun of Mike.
well, he doesn't have a defense. He can't defend himself.
He does.
So
it's called
all
Keys to the Building you are in right now.
His podcast is cut short. He's kicking us out.
All right, so I got a question for Justin here.
Present.
Justin, tell us about your entertainment background.
Entertainment background?
Yeah, like acting.
Like as an adult or? Okay. Yes. I do a little bit of acting.
Like any good place you can go to get your car looked at.
You're talking about Jensen Tire?
Yeah.
Where you can get the biggest tires
That I don't
the
go
best
to
brands
because of
in
the
town?
fact that their commercials are full of shit because they make it seem
best-
like you're a mechanic there. And I know for a fact you're not a mechanic at Jensen Tire.
Sure, you can get the tires you want. That's all I got.
You're stupid.
That's the hard thing about an audio podcast is like you can't see the gestures.
It's probably a good thing because there'd be a lot of swaying over to Mike. So yeah, no, go ahead.
Censorship.
Tell us about your acting and entertainment background.
Well, I guess I've always had a knack for acting or entertaining. I like to pull some sort of emotion out of people, usually consensual. Usually. Sometimes not. Moving on. So yeah, I did get my start most likely a little bit before high school, some stage acting, moved on to, some more stage stuff across seas in Germany, came back. One of the first projects I did film-wise was probably your project, Jeremy.
Reflections?
Reflections. You should see what you can do to get that sold
I think I might have found it.
and buried. I still have it.
So we might.
We can
God have mercy on you.
put it on YouTube.
I don't know. I want people to.
There's a lot of curious
want to
minds
watch
listening to
my
this.
stuff. Not
Like, wow, what is this?
that was terrible. The concept was good. Anyway. Go
Don't worry. It's kind of an inside joke. It's I digress. Yeah, so I've continued acting, scouted myself, did a little teaching as far as dramatics at a local talent agency that went down. There was some very questionable things that happened. I got out of there.
Because you were a teacher there. That's why they went down.
Yes. It's when you have about like 20 pupils and they walk you out in handcuffs.
I guess I didn't really know this about you. Like, what did you teach? Like
The dramatic. There was 4 what they call tiers, I guess. 4 tiers. There was like the dramatics, the modeling, the stage walk, the makeup, and the pretty much more like the financial aspects of it.
And you were the best choice for teacher to be teaching people this stuff?
No, I actually kind of filled in for a little while, and then I realized there was like some BS going on. That agency actually went under.
Are you able to say the name of this agency?
I kind of want to protect some of the people who were involved. It's mainly just one person who had some embezzlement going on. One of my account was included in that. So, and then I had to pay back a whole bunch of stuff that I did not use. So,
was it Signal 88? Is that the agency?
That's a security agency.
Oh,
but yeah, no. So yeah, I've always also been involved in martial arts. So I've had quite a bit of martial art choreography or stunt work in some films, commercials, or yeah.
What is some of the commercials that your martial arts were featured in?
There was a clothing brand called YMBK, Yambuka. That one was kind of cool.
And they went under because of embezzlement?
No, they were not involved. They were a totally independent clothing brand.
Okay.
I should get in contact. These are thoughts that should remain inside my head about me getting in contact with these old friends. Moving on. Yeah.
Now, Lonnie, I met you through the Now This Is Wrestling, which is a wrestling promotion that I started up and I co-own.
Yes, sir.
And you are actually, I had mentioned earlier that on every Monday, you and Ryan, we record the Now the Final Word podcast.
We do.
So outside of wrestling, what else do you do, like, in the way of entertainment? Now, you used to do a podcast before that, didn't you?
I wrote for a podcast, yeah.
Okay.
And I was a writer for a website I guess I still do write for that website called Revenant Media. I do photography, journalism, and write for that, which is an entertainment website that covers concerts, festivals, television releases, movie releases, comic book releases. I've been doing that since, 2011, 2012. Other than that, a lot of freelance writing, freelance photography. I was a ophthalmology tech for a couple years.
He's such a dick.
Right?
Right? I'm just getting used to the board.
Right. Boring you with what I thought was a fun life. So
I always thought that was interesting about you is that you were like in the ophthalmology type stuff.
Right, yeah. And especially with all the eye problems I had growing up, like being colorblind and half of my right eye is gone on the inside. But yeah, it was, if I could help people with problems that I had, help they can see.
Did these eye problems happen because you did it, or you were just born with it?
No, just born with shitty eyes. It's my grandpa's fault. He had shitty eyes. His father before him had shitty eyes. We're just a shitty-eyed family.
See, and I think as I'm getting older here, like I've been the only one in my family that's had like perfect vision my whole life. But
yeah, rub it in, Dick.
I do feel like whenever we'd go places, and we'd be sitting at a table and there's like a menu, like a fast food place. And my mom would be like, I need to go see how much the blah, blah, blah is. And I'd be like, I can see it from here. And I can't do that anymore. The older I'm getting, my eyes are getting bad, and I don't want to have to wear glasses.
I see.
I mean, if I have to, you press that cricket button, so help me God. So, no, that's pretty interesting. And you just recently, congratulations, had your first child.
I did. He's awesome and a little asshole at the same time.
A little crotch goblin.
Yeah, it was my sex trophy.
Nice.
He seems pretty chill though, because we record at your place, and whenever I get there, it's like he's just kind of chilling on the couch.
Yeah, and I call him a little asshole. He's a little colicky this week. That 6 to 8 week range, they cry a little bit more than normal, and he doesn't stop unless you pick him up and put him in your ear. And it seems like he really wails at that exact moment. And it seems like when you look at him, he's smiling. So he knows he's being an asshole.
Like a Bluetooth?
Right? So he knows he's being a jerk. And then he'll instantly stop. And then he's super cute again. He's smiling. And he shits in your lap. And then he...
That's the best.
Right, yeah. You don't know true love until... Like, for example, we were at... I think it was Village Inn or Denny's or somewhere some night with Logan eating dinner, and you farted in my hand, and I wanted to be
IHOP.
Okay, IHOP, yeah, and I wanted to backhand the shit out of you, but my son farts on me multiple times a day, and I think it's adorable. I think you got to look in the perspective of things.
So in my defense,
you farted in my hand. There
Where-
is no in defense. Like my
No,
hand
in
was
my
on the bench.
defense-
You lifted up your leg and you partner shit in my hand.
You had your hand like way too close to
Sitting
my
next
asshole.
to my leg. You propped up your leg, fucking motorboated into my hand.
Well,
I should have grabbed it.
I still
put
think
it
I'm
in
not
your
at fault
pocket.
for that because your hand was way too close to my
I think it was-
my a-hole.
I think it was IHOP's fault, if anybody's
Yeah, well,
fault.
first of all, it was a bad idea to be at IHOP. I don't think anybody's wanted to be at IHOP. You just end up at IHOP because it's the only place that's open. So,
I got asked 9 times if I want to catch up.
anyways, all right, so we're moving on.
Jeremy.
Yes.
So you talked a little bit about Justin's career in acting. Let's talk about your career as directing.
Yeah.
How many movies and short films do you have under your belt?
That I'm gonna claim.
I want all of them.
So
I want all the bastard children too.
I have 2 feature films that I wrote and directed. I'll claim those gladly. Ideally, I only have 1 short that I would claim, but in reality, I think I have 5 shorts that I think one of them Justin wasn't in. You've been
Is
in
that the
everything.
High V one?
Yes. No, you were not in the High V one, and you weren't in the Other Child, so you haven't been in 2.
Was Other Child a feature or a
That
short?
was a short film.
Oh.
It was for the Chiller Network.
Gotcha.
They were having a contest one year, and that's what kind of sparked me into this because I was into movie making even as like in junior high and high school. My best friend in junior high and high school, his name was Michael Samuelson. We would always shoot these short films. Like we did when Blair Witch came out, we did our parody of it in my backyard with a home video camera, and then we shot a movie called My Money, which, oh my God, if I could find that would so go up on Facebook or YouTube. But yeah, I just really got into. I've always liked entertaining. That's like my number one goal in life is entertaining people in some way or another. But I have written another feature-length film called Colden, which Justin will be playing the lead part of Colden, which I'm excited to film. But because of this COVID stuff going on right now, that's kind of been put on halt with the casting part of it, just because I don't want to get like a bunch of people excited to shoot a movie, but there's no actual set time that we're going to start filming it. And that's one thing I learned with like, you remember the Other Child movie, Justin? Like I wrote a feature length version of it.
Right.
And it was based off the short film. And I had it all cast, but I was waiting on locations and I couldn't get locations set. And it's like, so I had all these actors waiting in a pool, and it's like, I felt bad because they're excited, they're wanting to do it. And then it's just like, it never happened.
Motivation, or momentum. Some actors leave, and
Yep. So until things are
I didn't have
clear-
a choice for this Colden one either. So
bullshit.
like,
You don't want the
do you
part?
want to do this now?
You
You
wanna
want
do
me
this
to
now?
give the part
You
to somebody
fit,
else?
You fit that demographic so well. Psycho killer, crazy looking,
You're giving it
desperate,
Now,
phone booth maker.
I really hope that Justin wants to do this role because this is going to be unlike anything he's never done before. I mean,
Keep it up and he'll never do it.
Justin read the script. So has Michael. I came over here and I read it to him and stuff. And I mean, what's your take on it? Like after reading or having me read it to you?
Pretty much what I've said before. Like, it's a very chilling. Oh, maybe not chilling. It's a mind rape. Like it'll mess you up. I'm kind of scared of it, and I think that is one of the emotions or motivations I want to use to going into this, because it'll make my character advancement or design, whatever, just as deranged in a sense. Like, to be uncomfortable doing it in the uncomfortable scenes, I guess brightens a lot of, well, maybe not brightens. It colors a lot of the uncomfortableness. Give me another word for uncomfortable. Thesaurus.com.
Raw dog.
No. Raw dog. Okay. Thank you. I think I read that in a.
Yeah, it's very. I was uncomfortable writing it, and
It presses
filming. It's going to be.
It presses the envelope. You're going to be walking to the edge, and you're going to feel like you're going down. Pulling it off is one thing. Writing it is another. I should probably mix those. The other way around. But I am very curious to see how this gets made. I am in full support of it too. It's not going to be safe.
Yes. And if you're expecting it, if you're one of the hundreds that have seen Unemployed, my latest comedy movie. If you're expecting something like that, you're in for something else, because there's going to be no funny ha-has in this movie.
The way you promote Unemployed when I'm around or involved, maybe social media or present, it's usually you got to find a different way to promote it. Like, check out my movie Unemployed. You get to see this guy's ass.
Well, I mean, some people, their whole goal in life may be to see your ass, and this is their opportunity to see it.
I didn't think about it like that.
And I'm going to ask you,
That makes
Lonnie.
sense.
Yeah, I gave you a copy of Unemployed to watch.
Yeah, I tried to give it back. You wouldn't take it.
That's because that's an insult. Here's your fucking movie back. No,
I loved it. I thought Unemployed was a great movie. It was funny. It was well made. It was fun seeing my friends make a great movie.
There's a lot of people who, I guess I'm not necessarily close friends, or some friends who've came to see it. They said it's like one of the funniest movies they've ever seen. They haven't laughed that much. If any of you guys listening are interested to see this movie again, contact Jeremy. Get yourself a copy.
And on that note, I will say I've had several people message me. I don't have any more copies to give, and I don't have the computer to make copies. I'll have to talk to
We got a guy
to my guy to do that. But yeah, and that's the thing. Like there's probably like about a line of like 20 people that still want a copy, and it's just like A, getting the copies made, and B, finding the time to drive to these people. I've had some people that live in Lincoln or wherever, and they want me to mail it to them, and I'm just going to flat out say, like, I'm too lazy to go buy the envelopes and seal it up and put a stamp on it and all this stuff.
We got another guy for that.
Yeah, he's sitting right across from me. But that's the thing, too. It's like, it's printing off the covers, the sleeves for the DVDs. That costs a lot of money. And I'm actually like, yeah, we got like our checks from Trump and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm trying to save money when and where I can, even though I've bought some things I probably shouldn't have lately. But yeah, if you want a copy,
I've already got my second stimulus check.
Patience is the biggest thing. So yeah, and I really, Lonnie, I wish I knew you back when we were filming Unemployed, which was 3 years ago, which is wacky to think, because you would have fit in on set and probably given some wacky suggestions too when we were filming. But so we talked about Unemployed enough here. Let's move on to.
Well, you didn't. You said you had a question, and I rudely interrupted your question, your line of thought. Or did we answer your question in that?
I think you answered
your
my question.
thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
It was your thoughts on it.
Try to give it back because you didn't really.
I got this Madame Cleo thing going.
It was like back in school, you know, like when they're like, "Hey, take this sheet home, have your parents sign it, and bring it back," and you're like, "I can give it back right now." So
now, Lonnie and I also, like I had mentioned before too, you know, running the Now This Is Wrestling, professional wrestling thing too in town. This podcast is going to talk very little about wrestling. If you want to listen to actual wrestling podcast, you can listen to Now the Final Word with Lonnie and Ryan. That's a nice plug. You
motherfucker.
Yeah. That's where you can get all your wrestling insider. And it's not just talking about Now. I mean, you guys actually rarely speak of Now. It's just wrestling in general.
We probably will once this pandemic stops and we actually get to do stuff for Now. But I don't even really acknowledge it as a wrestling podcast right now. It's more of a comedy podcast that we try to talk about wrestling.
I know there's just not much going on in this world.
I think even just as that, I'm an outside view on that. I do subscribe to it, and I'm current, up to date on the podcast. If you guys are interested in it, check it out. Now This Is the Final Word.
Now the Final Word.
You can find it either
Messed
way.
up the plug there.
Jays.
One of our sponsors here at the Boundless, the BPT, Boundless PodTrap BPT.
He fucks up everything.
I know. I can't.
He does.
Words are hard, man.
Gotta get a whiteboard with stuff on it.
That's why he wants to be the host here, and
Wow.
but no.
Speaking of BP,
English was a second language.
Speaking of what?
Speaking of this podcast, why don't we get into this podcast a little bit? Tell people about what they can expect coming from this podcast.
So
nobody knows.
I think what we should do is we should all take turns going around the table explaining what we plan on bringing to this podcast. I will start.
Nachos.
So this podcast is going to be about anything and everything. It's going to be a lot of entertainment stuff, current events, things going on. It's going to have very strong opinions, and I can speak for myself, and people that know me know that I'm very opinionated. I never claim that my opinion is right. I never say it's wrong either. I also don't force it down anybody's throat. Now, this podcast could change that because as things go on in this world, especially with this COVID-19 going on, I've realized how stupid a lot of people in this world are. And I see things that they say, and I'm like, do you even think about and read what you are saying?
I don't have to worry about that. I already got my shots, my Clorox shots.
Yeah. But there's going to be a lot of things, and you got to bear with us. Like, cutting this back to an audio podcast mainly was done because it's going to allow us to get stuff out quicker. With this new board that we have, we're basically recording straight into the board, and there's going to be very little editing done. So our plan is to record on Thursdays and have it up by that following Monday. These are going to be anywhere from like an hour and a half to 2 hours long. We're not going to have guests all the time. We're going to bring in guests to the studio, local guests. We'll have them call in. We're also going to try to reach out to some like well-known, famous guests to come on every now and then. But the majority of the time, it's going to be the three of us talking, expressing our opinions on things in our own funny, sarcastic ways. But yeah, we're going to, many things, it's going to take a little bit for us to get our stride going. We're going to probably stumble across new ideas to have. Like, we've been pitching around ideas that we want to do, like maybe some games or segments that we want to do here and there. And, some of them are probably going to flop. Some of them are going to flourish. And some we're going to come up with on the spot. Like, the Balls Deep that happened on the Final Word podcast, that just kind of happened and it stuck and people really enjoyed it. But it's going to be a very entertaining podcast, and it's going to be something for everybody when we get this up and going, which will hopefully be here soon. So, Justin?
Oh, my turn?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I got to get used to something here. We have a lot of technicalities that we're going to try to implement in this as far as sound bites and stuff. So I'm going to rehash a little bit of what Jeremy just said. My view of the Boundless PodTrap is much like what he said. It's boundless. It's not confined to just one thing. It's not necessarily one niche, but you're pretty much tapping in on the personalities who is the Boundless Podskis. I don't know, PodTrappies.
Don't ever say that again.
I'm sorry. Can I do a redo while it's fresh in my mind? All right.
The Paul Bros.
Yeah. The that's a working thing, working title. Some bounties.
No,
bounties.
You got to copyright that.
Yeah, bounties. We the freaking bounties in our. No.
Moving on.
Right. Anyways, let me riff. Come on, let me have this one. Why do you always do this to me?
Bounties.
Oh man,
it's gonna be selfieing and just sending us videos of him.
Like he mentioned, it's gonna be primarily an entertainment. You're going to get a little bit of information, some education. I do want to touch on some topics as far as certain figures, popular celebrities. Maybe do we're going to be writing some essays.
Speaking of essays,
you called me an essay? Stupid.
They're touching each other right now.
It's above the glass.
See, the sitting arrangement here, why are you guys sitting on laps? There's an empty chair right here.
That's why I'm keeping my wallet.
Okay, it makes sense. Back to what is the Boundless PodTrap? Like he said, we wanted to make it a bi-weekly. Is that the right word?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So at least every other week or so.
They can go both weeks. Bi-weekly.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying. I'm.
Yeah, we say bi-weekly, but something could come up to where it may be more than 2 weeks. But
poly-weekly.
We hope to go no more than 3 weeks between podcasts. Right. But
so we have to dish out some burners here too. Throw something up. Say, hey, we did our best. Wow. What else was there? I had a whole bunch of thoughts but then you're just stealing all my thoughts. Yeah, game segments and stuff like that. We want to create some something entertainment, something that can also be get the community involved too. Maybe create some polls and stuff on like the Facebook group page. Man, words are hard. That's another thing I want to work on too, is my communication or speaking. I want to be a little bit more conversational.
You just said words are hard, but you want to do a podcast.
Heck yeah. You got to face your fears. You got to.
This will help.
You got to pee into the wind.
Because I'm telling you, I hated talking, and then I worked at Funplex here in town, and every time you were on the go-karts, you had to give a speech. And it wasn't just the people that were on the go-karts that heard you. It was the whole freaking park that could hear you talk. And that got me to like not stutter, because I was always so a nervous talker. And I owe that job to me talking too much like I am now.
So work at Funplex and you'll be
successful. Do it. You can do it. Work with all the 16-year-olds down there.
So keep your hands and legs inside the podcast. Do not push or shove. No feeding the animals. Pick up your trash.
The green pedal means go. The red pedal means stop.
So fucking stop. Yeah. There'll be a lot more evolving, advancing as we go about too, but just want to entertain you guys. If you guys got suggestions as far as what you want to hear our opinions on, we will definitely, anything that's worthy of praise is also worthy of shame. So yeah, we might rustle some cover. Am I using the wrong?
Rustle some covers?
Yeah. That's
what the hell does that even mean? Like, rustle feathers?
Ruffle some feather?
Nope, rustles.
Well, there are going to be people.
You say tomato, I say potato. It's the same thing.
There's going to be a lot of people with their feathers ruffled listening to this podcast.
You say potato, I say French fries.
So Lonnie, what are your plans with this podcast?
I can pretty much say with all sincerity, and people who know me can confer this, I am 100% going to be the wild card on this podcast. Pretty much everything that we talk about, I'm going to...
Let him play through. You don't let him...
Sorry, I can't.
Everything that we talk about, everything that we say and we like, I am going to disagree with.
I'm not sure I like this guy yet.
I'm gonna fucking destroy and sway everybody away from, because somebody has to be the devil's advocate.
Oh, absolutely, and that's what we need to do.
And I think that's what the world needs more of.
This guy's just gonna come in and take over our podcast like this. You're gonna get a serious ass fucking.
Got to spit it on myself because you selfish bastard. No, but it's COVID and I just spit everywhere. Sorry, fellas. I'm clean though.
Okay, I don't live here.
It was a mock spit. Anyway, I think the world needs that. I think we're too much of getting pushed around, and someone needs to, like you said, ruffle the feathers.
I didn't say ruffle. I said rustle.
You said rustle the
sheets.
Rustle the covers.
That's how you say it.
Rustle the sheet. No, but
you do your thing. I mean, I might not be the smartest crayon in the tool shed, but that's how it goes.
I mean, we'll get into...
See your way out.
We'll get into some debates about movies, and we're not going to agree. We're going to get into debates about politics. I'm not going to agree.
I can tell you one movie that we're never going to get in a debate about because I'm never going to watch it.
And you're going to say It. And
the remake of It.
And I'm going to say you're fucking dumb because it was great.
No.
I agree with Lonnie.
It was great, wasn't it?
I liked it.
It could be the best movie in the world, but it should never have been done. It should have been called something else because Tim Curry is
It was called something else. It was called Stephen King's It.
Same thing.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
that
is.
one does not hold
the
up.
television series was not. It was It.
Why do they call it a miniseries? They're both of them are like...
Because one was on TV and one was a movie.
The good one was on TV. The original, that should have been what it is.
It was 2 episodes.
It's still like almost,
3 hours.
Yeah. It's not mini. That's longer than the
It was
movies.
What it needed to be for when it came out.
And this is what you're going to get.
But it doesn't
ladies
hold up.
And gentlemen.
The kids are like the only believable part of it. The adults like...
No, the kids are not believable because Seth Green is the tallest one out of all of them, and that's not believable at all.
What? He's just growth spurt,
Performance enhancing.
This is a little taste of what you are going to get.
Yeah, but anyway, this is what you can expect, and this is going to be movies, videos,
porn.
Yeah, our different likings of porn. I personally like little goth chicks. Jeremy likes old ladies with giant floppy boobs.
This is true. This is true.
Let me clarify, because you're not
I'm telling
100%
I've
wrong.
seen your movies, and the ones you show me, it's just like, look at this grandma with her boobs that go from her chin to her belly button.
Let me clarify.
Let's check your search history.
There's a difference between. I do like older women, but there's a difference between grannies, like you're saying, and mature women.
You gave me the term for grandmas who have sex.
Gilf, because we were talking about MILF.
You know what the term for hot goths are called? Sexy.
Daddy issues. What?
I'm good with it.
Huh.
No. See,
you learn something new every day.
You do. I was
before
he
education
went off on
of
that. I was going to say, let's go around the table and say who our favorite porn star is.
That's
Justin.
tough.
That for me.
I might have to say.
He's debating how much trouble he wants to get into with his wife. Look at that.
She ain't gonna listen to this podcast.
Well, she's gonna be like, "Yeah, I can see that. I can see that." Who looks most like my wife? I take an interest in Janice Griffith. She's pretty good. She's pretty cool. Her work is.
I'd have to look her up.
Write that down.
Mike, get on that. You're our look up person. Mine simply is Brandy Love. She's a mature. If you were to model what I think is attractive with a mature woman, not a granny, Brandy Love is it.
While you're on there, Wikipedia Brandy Love's age. I'm just curious.
She's like probably in her early 50s, late 40s, early 50s.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
I didn't say there was.
I was clarifying on my behalf that there's nothing wrong with that.
I was going to say, do you see me like getting upset?
I giggled. That's on me.
He's the type.
Girls my age want nothing to do with me.
The plumbing still works. So, it's not just dust. Break it up and line it up in a little line and snort it.
Who's your favorite?
I got two because one aged out.
47.
Like, that's fine. I've got two because one definitely aged out. Liz Vicious, and she aged out a little bit, and then Scarlet Payne.
I know Scarlet. I don't know the other one.
I'm not familiar.
The thing is, he just made me think now. He's saying Brandy Love's 47. She's only 11 years older than me. Ew.
Yeah, see, put that in perspective. When you touch yourself to Brandy Love, that's fucking Mike.
No.
When Mike touches you to Brandy Love.
Would you go home and you lube up? I just wanted you to picture.
Lube?
You're going to ruin it for him.
I don't use lube. Oh, I can see why you like her. See, once we get going with this podcast, on this portion of it, I guess we wouldn't because it's audio.
Check out this picture right here.
We'll leave a link to a picture of her. So this is good stuff. We're gonna really hopefully here in the next probably there's a few things we have to get for this. We have to record the intro and all that stuff, which we have ideas of what we're gonna do for it, and then hopefully within the next couple weeks we could start recording our first episode, our official first episode. Hopefully it'll be every 2 weeks from there on out that we do other podcast episodes. And
nice.
Yeah, I can see why you like her too, Liz Vicious. Any relation to Sid Vicious?
I hope the fuck not.
Well, yeah, like I said earlier in this episode, I'm not too familiar with Lonnie as far as, we've probably only interacted maybe, less than 10 times.
Yeah. Feel free, ask me a question, buddy. Anything you want to know.
Anything I want to know.
I know this is going to go.
Have you ever woken up next to a dead clown?
Not dead.
Okay.
I did stay the night, and this is a 100% true story. Me and my buddy Jared Lenville, he had the hots for a girl who worked for a carnival.
Doxity?
No. He had the hots for a girl who worked for like one of the traveling carnivals, and we went. And he went to hang out with her after the carnival got over, which was like 11, 12 o'clock. And so we were hanging out with all the weird carnies. And I can't say they're weird. Everyone's weird in their own way. So we're hanging out like backstage with all the weird carny people. And I fell asleep in the dirt because I don't drink. I'm straight edge. And I fell asleep in the dirt. And apparently everyone just decided to make a bonfire around where I was sleeping. And I woke up with like two of the clowns sitting on they pulled like the back seat out of a van, like the minivans where the seats come out. They just found one of those, and they were sitting bullshitting, eating coffee or drinking coffee and eating eggs in their full clown makeup. That is a true fucking story.
This sounds like a Rob Zombie movie.
No, I swear to God, they just pulled it out of a van. They were sitting eating breakfast. I was laying in the dirt.
I was going to say babies and breakfast.
I will say, the more you know about Lonnie, he's got some interesting stories. There's some things about him that I found out. I'm like, whoa, I didn't know that about you. It'll be an interesting ride for you, Justin. And something you did bring up that is just coincidence. It wasn't planned. All of us are straight edge for this podcast.
I never really cared for the term straight edge, but I've always identified with it because like most of the people I knew, one person in particular who's also a mutual friend of us, I won't say her name, she's used the term, and I just thought it was kind of annoying. It's kind of like being classified under, I guess, terms with baggage in a sense, like being a skeptic or non-believer, atheist or whatever. Some people don't like to use certain terms, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with this.
You don't like the word straight edge.
Yeah, but I identify with it. I do.
So there will be no drinking. Now you're getting the hang of it.
Clean.
Yeah, as I'm staring at a shelf full of liquor because Michael is an alcoholic.
Is he drinking for all of us here?
Funny thing is, I don't even think Michael drinks at all. This is just what he does to ease the nerves of the people that he works with.
Lonnie,
Yes.
what is your
I don't
response?
mean that in a bad way.
What is my
that-
response? All
Side
right.
side conversations.
Shush.
All right. Shoot. What is my response?
What is your response to someone saying, you just don't know how to have fun?
I respond with, I also don't know how to wake up with a hangover.
Okay, how about this one?
Okay.
Oh, I'm so proud of you that you don't drink.
I say, thank you.
And then how about this one? That's too big. Take it out.
I've never heard that before. I'd wish.
I'm like, where's he getting that?
Oh, Mr. Bucket. Balls pop out of my mouth.
Mr. Bucket.
This is where we'd have an audio clip ready to go of Mr. Bucket.
We just unwrapped the board. No chalk
can't
on
do
the
it.
board. I can't. It's just,
I did it though, right before you did.
it wasn't. I was trying to flick his mouth.
My cheeks hurt. Anyway, so I think let's wrap things up here. We're already 3 minutes over what we said we were going to do for this podcast, but that's what you're going to get with us. Normal episodes are going to be anywhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours. More on the 2 hour thing because we all like to talk. But we are very much looking forward to doing this podcast. I'd like to give a thank you to Michael for helping us out with getting this going. It's very generous he is a very generous person, always has been, always will be. I'd appreciate you letting us test it out here at your place.
And also thanks to the new challenger. It's like a video. You don't play video games.
I don't play video games, so the video game segments are going to probably be you guys.
Stop it. Anyways, thanks for listening. I would say watching, but we're no longer doing the constant audio or video stuff. So we will let you know in advance when we want to dust off the camera.
So, yeah, we want to thank you for listening to us. We will be back with you guys here, and hopefully the next month. We'll just say within the next month, we'll have our official first episode. So for Lonnie, Justin, I'm Jeremy.
Justin.
I'm Milani. I guess
Just
that's
said
what we're
for
doing.
you guys.
No, I'm saying it for myself.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say it for Michael, too.
Stay boundless.
No, we're not doing that.
That was, like, I've never seen a dick up close, but that was very true.
Have a good night.